talk about some of this shit then.
Bruh.
Bruh. So we
Bruh.
live right now. Oh, we live. 9 seconds on YouTube. Let me go to Instagram real quick. See what we got going on.
Yep,
Oh,
there we go.
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, where the hell was that yawning come from? Did I yawned? I didn't remember yawning.
Who, me?
I yawned.
Oh.
Yo, that's wild.
You tired?
Yo, extremely. Extremely.
Exhaustion could be your Olympic sport.
I'll be in the bronze at least. What up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
Hi, guys.
Got something for y'all today. Got something
Hi,
for y'all
guys.
today. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if I can log on to this shit twice. Let me see something.
I feel like that's what got me booted last time.
Mm.
Maybe not, though.
I was about to find out.
Let's go find out.
Oh no, I'm in.
You in there like somewhere?
Yeah. Like swimwear. Nah, I got an Instagram called Brown Coffee.
It's called what?
Brown Coffee. All right, man. Go ahead, Auntie. Do your thing. I would talk shit at the cookout though. I don't know why that shit is so funny to me right now. I have no idea. Um, what up, y'all? What up? Yo, I know y'all see what we talking about today. Oh yeah, you on? You watching? Um,
Yeah.
you're. I'm trying to
What
share
up,
it.
guys?
The first few minutes of me trying to share it, it don't do nothing. Um,
Oh, I didn't even think about that. We lit. Waiting for some people to come in so I can say hi to them.
yo.
Hmm?
Your dance, bro. Yeah. It's a family oriented show.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, you don't mind us.
Oh, now you get it. Now you get it.
That's terrible.
Ah, not for the right person. They thought it was everything. Lord.
Oh, that reminds me of a movie I just watched. Oh, I just watched a movie called Ricky Sneaky on Netflix, and
That sounds
that's
wild.
funny. That case, like that, that kind of happened in the show.
Uh-huh.
It was funny. Somebody who's like presenting was always doing like accidental air dicks. Oh man.
Ricky Snicky.
Nikki and Stanicki, Ricky Stanicki. It was actually really good. It was just a random pick.
I have heard of that.
You know, I don't watch TV, so whenever I come across something, it's on accident.
Alright. Well, let's get to it because this shit, I don't know what the hell my Instagram is doing. What up, y'all? If y'all watching this, please share this with your friends. I'm having a hard time sharing it right now, so it is what it is. Um, yeah, I might have to go to another profile myself and look this shit up. Crazy.
To do what?
To look up my own live, I'm gonna have to go to another profile.
Oh,
I'm supposed to be sharing it from this profile, but it's not doing nothing. Let me refresh it real quick. God, damn. Had to land on her page first. Lord have mercy.
How was your day?
My day busy. Not bad. So far, it's better than last week. Last week was pretty rough for me, but you know. All right, one more thing. I need to make sure I'm still on Instagram. We're still on Instagram live. Okay,
Yeah, you still on Instagram?
that's it. Let me try to share it one more time. There we go. All right, we lit now, but it don't give me all my friends and stuff I can share it with.
Oh,
I know,
is it because you're accessing it from the computer?
most likely.
Ew. Instagram on the computer is ill.
Well, it's not made for the computer, so there's that.
That part.
Yeah, that was whack. I gotta be able to share it to more people than that. I definitely
Mm.
had people ask me like, "Yo, like you went live?" I can only see like the last like 8 9 people who sent me messages.
Oh, I could.
That's so whack.
Hmm.
That's so whack. That's so whack.
You can share it straight from StreamYard to Instagram. Have you tried that?
But I can't share it to different profiles on Instagram.
Oh, mine can, but I'm logged into the wrong Instagram account on my phone.
From StreamYard?
No, from just on my phone.
I mean, yeah, no, no, no. Oh God. Excuse me. Let me see something.
Can you still see me?
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
This is crazy.
That's your cousin?
Yeah, probably. Let me see.
Dodger Dad?
Cause was good. Yeah.
Hi, cousin. I was like, I don't think that's my cousin, but I got a lot of cousins, so one might have snuck past the radar.
Alright, F it. I gotta do what I gotta do. Alright, so we lit. So today we talking about is you know what I need to do? I haven't done on StreamYard yet.
¿Qué pasó?
I need our link, the YouTube link. Let me see if I can pull that up. Oh, I'll figure this out. Another time. So boom. Uh we live. We talking about is compatibility the most important part of a relationship. And we're gonna start this conversation by asking what are the most important traits of a successful relationship?
The most successful traits?
The
The
most
most
important
important traits
traits
of a
of
successful relationship. Sorry, I have 14 hours brain funk. Um, Trust. Trust is a killer if you don't have it.
word,
Um, Good communication.
trust, and then communication.
Uh, Respect.
Respect.
Hmm.
You said trust, communication, respect. Oh, easy,
Love.
easy. Love.
Love.
Mm.
You don't think so? That's funny that love is the debatable thing.
I don't think love is enough.
No one says enough. We're talking about the important aspects of
Right.
successful relationships.
I don't think love is enough to be considered one of the most essential. But go ahead.
You think any of these things are standalone?
Well, go ahead, finish before I comment. We got trust, communication, respect, and love.
Yeah, I think those are my four top. I think those are the most important to me anyway.
Um, so I agree with trust because with trust you can have vulnerability. I think trust makes communication better. Trust allows you um, to want to do more for someone else because you trust that they're going to appreciate it. You trust that they're going to do the right thing with whatever it is that you give them, whether it be knowledge or something tangible. I think communication is obviously important. More important, I think communication is the most important, probably even more important than trust, because you can learn how to trust or not trust somebody based on clear communication. Like, oh, I don't like that you did that. I don't fuck with you anymore. You know what I mean? But I think communication is the most important, and yet and still the most underrated. So simultaneously, I think that trust is like trust obviously is important, but I think communication, like for me, takes the cake. I feel like when communication is bad, relationship is horrible, or then you find
I
out things
I
out.
do agree with that because I think if you can't communicate any of the other aspects I listed, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. That's why I said it's the most important. Respect. I can't. It's so hard to say respect can't not supposed to be on there, right? Because without respect, then what do you have? But I feel like respect is like in there with everything. You have to
Well, they
respect.
said respect and love are like two sides of the same coin.
I don't agree. The reason why I say that, I think that I
Not
feel
in that they mirror each other, but in the way that men men they say men don't necessarily prioritize love, they prioritize respect, and women prioritize love. So
okay.
what does it do when he's scorned? He pulls away his love. And what does a woman do when she's scorned? She pulls away her respect. They're
Mm.
clearly connected.
Yeah, that part deep. But I'm trying to figure out like I feel like love and respect on its own isn't enough because without the other important things, having love and respect in it, I don't think it's worth anything. Communication, communication. I can communicate clearly to you, but if I don't love and or respect you, then how I'm going to communicate could be divisive in itself. You know what I mean? So I feel like love and
Yeah,
go into everything that you do in a relationship.
gotcha.
That's my opinion on it. All right. So the next question is, how do you define personal values in hard lines while in a relationship?
Personal values and hard lines.
How do you define them when you're in a relationship? How do you define them?
Well, hard lines are like hard nose. I think your values determine your hard lines. They
How do you?
determine your value.
But I think the question is more like, how do you define them in the relationship? Not so much what are they. I think I want to come into this conversation with the assumption that the audience knows what your personal value is and what your hard lines are. Like your maybe we should explain it. So your personal values are things that you value, things that you feel are important to you that may define what a relationship looks like to you. Your hard lines are what are your personal boundaries? What are your absolute no's? What are your, if this person does this one time, I'll never speak to them again? And how do you go in? So the question is, how do you take those things and then put that into your relationship? And how do you, because I mean, some things, like I have some things where immediately, I'll give a perfect example. So this girl I used to date, right?
Hmm?
Um, I stopped, she dead at me on some bullshit. I was going through some stuff. And she was just like, oh, he's going through stuff. I don't want to deal with a nigga who's going through stuff. That's her prerogative. I have, nothing to say behind that, but that's what it was. Long story short, um, long story short, she she was on thin ice with me anyway because I feel like one of the things that bothered me the most was that she didn't respect my boundaries with my children and like my family and stuff like that. Oh no, what did I just do? Oh, so whenever I had like family time or whatever, she wouldn't like respect those boundaries, and because she didn't respect those boundaries, I'm like, then you're not gonna respect other boundaries that I set. Fast forward 2 3 years later, me and her spoke on the phone, and I was like, yo, I'm on the phone. I'm gonna call you back, or call me back whenever you have the time. And she said, okay, and then proceeded to continue her conversation. And instantaneously, I thought to myself, this is why I don't like you. You don't respect that boundary. Like I say, yo, I'm on the phone, I'm gonna call you back. Hang up. I'm gonna call you back. Or you're about to go do something and I'm also doing something. Call me when you're free. And you gotta finish your thought. I don't like that because you don't know. Like I told her who I was on the phone with, and it was just like in one ear out the other, and I didn't like that. And that's not a hard line for me, but it's something that's a personal value of mine, right? Respecting my boundaries. Showing up to my crib unannounced or going through my shit for any reason without talking to me about it, hard line. I don't care how much I'm in love with you, I'm not gonna fuck with you anymore. I'm not gonna do it. So just as an example for my personal, that's pretty much the difference between the hard line and you know the other shit.
Okay. So I guess like one of my hard lines is any type of abuse, like emotional, verbal. You're not going to, we're not going to scream at each other, call each other out their name. Definitely not going to raise no hands or act. You can't even act violent around me. Like that's a huge thing for me. Like
What if they're
you start
protecting your?
punching walls, you can go.
I thought like if somebody like touch your butt or something, you can't beat them up.
I don't know. I've never been put in that situation. Um,
I understand.
yeah, I've never been put in that situation. So I don't know how I feel about that. Everyone talks about like being defended, but as someone who's been groped before, but just not around somebody I was like involved with, it doesn't undo the trespass to me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I've still been violated. I understand. Like I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Um, and I don't think that I think there's a difference between like protection and violence.
Hmm.
There's people who have violent energy and they speak violently and they act violently and I've seen people who have very aggressive energy about them. Like I don't think that's the same thing.
I understand. Like they couldn't wait for this moment to be able to punch somebody in the face.
Facts.
I get what you're saying.
Yes. Exactly. Because I mean if somebody did something to my daughter, I would definitely like throw hands behind it or whatever. Like I'm not afraid of anything like that. But I don't think anybody would say I'm a violent individual.
I understand what you're saying. So,
So
how do you go about implementing those like boundaries and stuff like that? Do you? Is it a conversation?
It's
It's
always a conversation.
so. What does that look like?
I mean, if you want to like bring it up, I could talk about how I was raised or my past or you know, whatever. But um, and people joke about violence a lot, so that's also an opportunity to be like, ha, 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 but no, but never.
Right.
Um, it's funny because I saw the other day somebody said, don't find somebody you never fight with. Find someone who the way you fight and you argue is compatible,
Mm.
because it's not that you're never going to have a fight. It's about when you're going to have the fight. And what you're looking for is somebody who, when you're upset and riled up, or they're upset and riled up, your communication styles don't just go on a complete fritz.
Hmm. That's a good one. But that kind of goes into what we're going to be talking about later with the compatibility. Um, what up, y'all? What up, y'all? So the next question is, well, I give my 2 cents on that. So I usually bring up those parts of, um, I usually bring up those parts of my, like, kind of in the beginning now. I don't feel like I did it back in the day. You just found out on your own. But in the beginning, when I was younger, like that's how it was. But now, nah, once we start talking, it's like, hey, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that, and we be alright. And I don't
I
really
think
want
that's
to
fair
figure this out. Like, do this, don't do that. If that happens and I feel uncomfortable, or you make me feel a type of way, or I get triggered, I'm probably not gonna like you again. Like I told you with the girl who said the thing, and I corrected her, like, yo, why we gotta keep talking about that? She called me a princess. I was like, oh, nah, and I never went out with her again. As a matter of fact, her and I were texting recently, and she said something to me. I responded in like a very egotistical way. And she was like, nigga, but ain't you the one that fell back? I was like, you're right. I almost forgot about that. And I haven't hit it back since. And a lot of that is because I
because you
don't,
don't block people.
huh? Yeah,
A lot of that is because you don't block people.
no, no. I felt like
I don't need to
egotistically,
remember why.
I felt like egotistically, I was like, pour my toe in the water to see if it was still warm. I think subconsciously that's what I was doing. And when she had brought that up, I was like, "You're right, my bad." And I have nothing else to say. But now it's just kind of like this is my line. And the effed up part is that when you're on like a spiritual journey and a journey of growth and maturity, you don't always know what that line is. But once I figure it out, I'm gonna let you know in real time. Hey, sis, mm,
I don't like
I
this.
did not like that at all. That made me. Oh man, there's something I
I
really.
think that's a great time if y'all have something implemented where you can like stick a pin in this, because I need to remove myself from the situation. Like
Yeah,
this can't happen.
I've had that happen to me recently. Somebody was like, let's talk about that later. But there is something I wanted to talk to you about privately. I didn't want to bring that up yet; it's too new. But one of the things that I found out that's a boundary for me is I don't want to deal with other people's. This is a topic actually, and the topic is dealing with your partner's trauma. And whew, you think you built for some shit until you really got to be built for it. And I was like, I'm not built for it. So a part of my boundaries is understanding me. Like I don't want to deal with that. And I'm talking about it was something that grinded me. It felt like my spine was the nails, and then my soul was the chalkboard. And I was just like, I can't go through with this. Because once I started to have to defend myself, like I'm wrong, and I do a lot of self-assessment. I do a lot of, I'm gonna fall back and think about this. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I am the person that's fucked up in the situation. I do that a lot. And when I think about it, let me talk to somebody. Hey, bro, how you feel about this?
Am I the drama?
And I'm just like, you know what? I'm not wrong. If not me, get it together, Grouch. So yeah, I bring up my hard lines and my values in the beginning, and I just kind of go from there. Um, I don't like to make it seem like I think I had somebody tell me once upon a time like I'm giving them ultimatums, and I'm like I'm not giving you ultimatums. I'm giving you rules. Like there are rules to love me, just like there are rules to love anyone. There are rules to love your children. Every person is an individual. We're all human, but we're all individual, and we all have free will. So like you're gonna, and you all have experiences of trauma that you know and you don't know. The known knowns and the known unknowns, and then the unknown unknowns. So I'm gonna have to navigate that if I want to spend any type of part of my life with you. And it's like, well, what does that look like? What I look like? I might have to deal with some shit, and there might be some shit that I don't want to deal with, and there might be some things that I don't mind dealing with, but I just have to learn to navigate. And not everything you have to teach me, but if you know how to navigate that, you're supposed to share it with a brother. You're supposed to be like, hey, listen, man. Like I had a girl tell me a long time ago, I don't like to be choked. It triggers me. And I didn't know what that meant. I was like in college. I didn't know what that meant at the time. But she was like, yo, I don't like to be choked. It triggers me. And I was like, all right, cool. Never choked her. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
didn't, of course, we're talking about like, some women like to be choked in bed. So that's kind of what it was. And she was just like, nah, like the whole session stopped. Like, we're not doing that. I was like, did it hurt? She was like, nah, that triggered me. I don't like that. Oh, all right, well, let's take a break. You want to talk about it?
it
Nah, I
is
don't.
better than her having a whole panic attack.
Bruh. So we watched the honeymooners for a little while, and then we had to go for that room guy. You know what I mean? 4 hour joint. You know what I mean? Back in the day. So I was like, yo, but you sometimes you don't know till you get there, and you got to respect somebody else's boundaries. But I think it's important that if you know how to navigate you, and you know how you want people to navigate you, that it's important to tell somebody. Now you might meet somebody who goes against what it is that you want, but shows you something way more that you needed. So it's always good to be open to certain things. But once I put my shit on the table, don't fuck that up. The next question was, what do you look for in a person to determine your values, or do they stay the same? Or are they just consistent?
You mean do my values change depending on the person?
That's not the question, but that is a part of it. So, what do you look for in a person to determine your value? So, do you have the same like? Do you like? I have a core value, right? I have like 4 to 10 core values. But like, let's say I'm dealing with a person who's not a parent. My values on parenthood don't matter because you're not a parent. I don't care what you think.
I think mine's still. You got a nephew? You got cousin? Like you got any youth around you? You could be a coach. I like. I still take that information in, whether you have kids or not. Do you even like kids? Like,
Uh,
do you even like kids? I have friends who do not like kids, yo.
I got people I know with kids that don't like kids. I don't think
Yep.
like them. Um, I would say that I have a certain amount of core values that don't change for anybody. But if I'm like I said, if I'm dating a woman that has children, my value system changes a little bit. If I'm dating a woman who is of a certain age and just ain't got it together, my values for her change. Like my values, like if I meet a woman and she's a nurse or she's a doctor or an accountant or whatever, but she's like 40 and she's like or 45 and she's like doing okay. And I'm not even talking about okay. It's like she's stable in that even if she changes jobs, she's still working towards something. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
good. But if I meet a woman who's like 38, 39, 40, 41, and she's like just stopped working, working at Banana Republic to then get a job at like I'm gonna be a manager at Pizza Hut. All right, now I'm gonna be an executive assistant for this guy, this startup. Or now I'm gonna like I don't know. Like I think at some point in time you got to know what it is you want. So I think if I'm dating a woman who's 23 or 25 and she's like that, I wouldn't date a woman that's 25. By the way, 7 year gap. My daughter's 20. So the youngest I can date right now is 27. So or 28. So if I was dating a 28-year-old and
Goosebumps.
what?
People under 30 give me the heebie-jeebies.
Oh yeah, I know. Um, Yet you don't delete them. Yeah.
No, I delete that. Like, so you
Let's
in
not
things with
slide,
people, you don't
let's
block them.
not slide
I
over
tell
to
them I'm not interested because they're way too young, and you've now
let's
been little
let's
brothered.
let's say um. So one of the things that I noticed is that if she's 28 or 29, I have more leniency. I have more grace I can give with that. But if you're like 45, I don't have no grace with you.
So I was told that principles don't change, but preferences do. And it sounds like these are preferences, it's
Is it
not
though?
principles.
No. So let me defend my point. I feel like if I'm dating somebody who's younger, I still want them to have ambition. Ambition is the value. What it looks like changes upon age. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess, but people could be different in different parts of their past no matter what their age, even if
You're not.
they're ambitious.
You're
I know
not
a whole
feeling.
bunch of ambitious fools too. But anyway,
I feel like one of them right now. Oh Lord. Um, just an FYI, I feel like both of our faces look extra slim tonight. Like we both was on the treadmill OD.
I have not. I don't know if does this thing have a filter on it, but my skin looks good.
Different filter. No, your
I don't
face
have no makeup on.
looks slimmer. So compatibility versus commonality or shared interests. It's not the same goddamn thing. So I go back to it. The same woman that called me a princess or whatever, we didn't
Yeah.
have, we didn't share a lot of like. I don't feel like we were compatible. However, there was so much similar interest that like when I first met her, I was like, oh my god, she everything about her, like everything that she told me, I was like, I'm OD into these things, everything. And at some point, and I realized this generally about me, I can't be with anybody who's sensitive. If you're like a really sensitive person, I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm empathic. Just generally sensitive. It's not gonna work. I'm not sensitive enough.
I just caught the oh no, I'm in traffic part. Yo, I can't.
Yeah, you know that. But I'm not talking about that. Like generally speaking, like if you're a sensitive person, it's not gonna work.
If
It's
your
not
feelings are easily hurt.
right. And it's like I don't care how compassionate I can be. I'm still me, and I don't want to. I nah, no. So like Mocha just said, we didn't have a connection, and I'm like, what happened? And Davinia's sound just went out.
Hello?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? You can't hear me? And that's what happens when you go live, ladies and gentlemen. I heard her too. I don't think she can hear us, Mocha. But when you go live, sometimes you encounter technical difficulties. Like what we're experiencing right now, dog. Anyway, so what I was gonna say is I was gonna say that I don't know if she's on. You back?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear us? Can you hear me? What happened?
Hello.
I can hear you.
All right, give me a second.
All right, so I'm gonna take it off the screen right quick.
I don't.
Can you hear me yet? All right. So I thought she was back. So what I was gonna say is that in dealing with homegirl, I came to realize that it was important for me to be compatible with somebody and not just have a common interest with somebody, because common interest is not enough. Common interest does not equal compatibility. Um, Common interest does not intercompatibility. So basically, what common interests do is ensure that you got some things that you guys like together, but how you like them things matter. So there was one time that I realized that so when I was with one of my ex girlfriends, I realized that we had a very similar taste in movies and music and stuff like that. And what I would tell people that our personalities were like, um, we liked the same album but different songs on that album. And I think that was good when I was 24, 25 years old. But now I don't have to say we have to like the same songs, but the songs that we like have to overlap. Because I realize that sometimes even if you're in the same field, like if you like, I'm thinking of, all right, Thriller. Everybody knows Thriller, right? If you like PYT, but you don't like Thriller, and I don't like Thriller, but my song is like Lady of My Life or something like that, then it might not mix. Because I like the slower jam, you like the faster one. And I think eventually those incompatibilities will like it rear its head. It'll come back. You know what I mean? So that's something that I think is important to what the fuck just happened? I'm sorry, y'all. What just happened? Can you hear me now? All right, you back. So somebody you tried to log on from another profile?
No,
So who the hell is this good life person?
you said good life.
Good life 22.
Oh, it might be one of my friends. Why?
You invited somebody to come on and watch? I mean, to come.
No,
You gave somebody you
no.
would.
People can request from YouTube.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They probably, yeah, they probably send in. You know, people can send requests to go on the live from Instagram too, right? You know, you could watch something and be like request.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that's how it would come up here.
Oh, my friend just messaged me, Vance. He said it's him.
Oh,
Do you want another perspective?
I definitely kicked him out. I didn't.
I ain't know. So
I didn't know neither. I need forewarning, Vance.
that's funny because I just learned about the good life thing today. That's why I was like, good life. I was like, I might know who that is.
So I was saying, what I was saying was, I was saying that I felt like it was important to Mocha. Why you not on? Hmm. Anyway, the Mocha be in the bed chilling. So what I was saying is like I was saying that how me and my ex we would say that we would like the same. album, but like different songs on the same album. And then I figured like what we would do. That's mad distraction. Like I can see you typing the shit, smiling.
Because I wanted to laugh with Mocha. I was about to.
Lord have
Hi, Mocha. What you eating,
mercy.
girl?
We're supposed to be setting the tone here. Hold on, let me see. At the
Sorry.
stage.
Easily distracted. I'm sorry.
Let me know when they're ready. They're not ready yet.
Mhm.
So Vance, if you can hear us, let us know when you're actually ready to go on.
Give us thumbs up.
Yeah, right now he got a blank screen. So yeah, I was saying like I feel like it's important to like you may not have to like all of the same songs, but it has to overlap. Because I was saying I would use Thriller as an example. I was like, if they like, if let's say neither one of us likes Thriller, but then that person likes PYT and not like Lady in My Life, that might show cracks later on because we like something that's totally different. So it might just be like that person likes fast songs and I might like slow tempo songs, which might cause compatibility issues in moving forward. I'm just using that as an example. But I think that liking something and not having to be of your core value. Like I think a part of my core value is compatibility, because to me compatibility is how we argue, um, our shared interests, and like I'm thinking of a specific person. We don't have a lot of similar interests, but what we do like, we would only want to do with one another. That makes sense. Like I like this thing. I don't want to do it with anybody else but you,
Yeah.
right? But then I think of my ex, and we had a lot of shared interests, a lot of commonality, and we had a lot of compatibility, but our value system was just so different that it imposed itself onto our whatever you call it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
it like the value system was so different that it affected our compatibility. You're like my son watching the TV, and I'm trying to talk to him, and he's like, "Okay, daddy. Okay, daddy." Like, what are you doing right now? Like, I see you looking at the corner of your eye. It's okay. It's your turn to speak. Maybe you'll be focused now.
No, I agree with you where I think commonality is a part of compatibility, but it's not the totality of it. And that you can have like compatibility can be maybe we don't maybe we don't get angry the same. You know what I mean? Maybe the way I respond to high pressure situations is compatible with how you handle high pressure situations.
Hmm.
I start to freak out and you're cool and calm. You know what I mean? That's a compatibility, but it's not the same. It's
Right.
compatible.
Right.
Not it's
It's just like
like more like supplemental. Is that like
it's just like
it
a
works
puzzle.
together?
Right.
So I agree. It's like it's important that y'all do certain things the same, but not everything. Like just one of my coworkers today, they were talking about it's not what you necessarily like about the person. Sometimes it has a lot more to do with what you dislike about the person and whether you can tolerate the things that you dislike about the person or not.
Mm. I agree with that,
And we
100%.
talked about little things like my daughter leaves the freaking top off the toothpaste every day. It's annoying as hell, but is it a deal breaker? No,
Right.
she does it every day, every day. And I've been yelled at for leaving hair in my brush. Like there's little things that people do, and some people is like, absolutely not, absolutely not. Like so, it's also how you get along with the stuff that you don't like.
I think it's absolutely that. But I think compatibility to me is more how it fits as opposed to how similar it is. Because if you think about it, if you have a lot like different. They say round hole, square peg, or whatever. If you had a lot of squares, that's cool. But how malleable is that square? You know what I mean? Like, you could like square a circle or a triangle, but I don't think you could triangle a circle. You know what I mean? So I feel like a person has to understand like compatibility is what fits. Like, with my oldest daughter's mom, one. Of course, you're a trapezoid. One of the things that I felt like was that made us really compatible as parents when my daughter was little was our parenting styles, right? She was a little bit more compassionate. I was a little bit more stern. I was a little bit more understanding. She was a little bit more like, nah. And there were times where my understanding would come into play and it would unfold like, oh, I'm glad I listened to you because you understood this more. There would be times where she wasn't as understanding, but I'm glad she didn't take the time to think about it because we need to get up out of there real quick. You know what I mean? So there was like compatibility, but we weren't the same. And I think
Yeah.
that with my personality, I don't need nobody like me. I don't want nobody like me. I need somebody that's understanding of me. I need somebody that compliments who I am, and I want to be able to compliment who somebody else is. I don't feel like my personality could do a duplicate.
Yeah, I don't feel like I could either. Maybe I don't know if it's a fire sign thing or not, but
Probably. I don't deal.
I don't know. I haven't really come across anybody who I consider like really, really similar to me like that. But if I did, if he happened to be a guy, I don't know how I feel about it.
I dated a few Aries that were similar to me, and it worked for like 3 months, 4 months. That's it.
The idea is a little scary to me.
I could imagine.
I go for the balance. Like I usually go for the balance. So someone who's a little opposite me. And also I want to be interested in the person. And if you're just like me, that must be kind of I think that might be a little boring.
Could be, but there may be parts of you that how they say if you ever saw yourself, you will walk right past yourself because you've never not seen yourself in a reflection, so you wouldn't recognize who you were right away.
Oh,
So I think there's certain parts of your personality that you can't see, and I think that when it starts to come out, you'll be like, "Oh snap, I like this," or "I don't like this."
same with the Aries, Mocha.
What you said?
She said Aries are always beating down her door. My fire sign brothers, indeed.
Yep. Too bad Mocha don't like pizza. Inside joke.
Obviously.
Um, how to choose someone? How do you choose the right compatibility? Yes, we do like a challenge, but not too much of a challenge.
And I think that's part of choosing compatibility is like you don't want it to be too easy, but you don't want it to be too hard. I feel like compatibility and love, like compatibility by itself won't necessarily mean a good relationship, just like love by itself doesn't equal a good relationship. I kind of feel like if you can balance compatibility and love and effort, then you can have a really great relationship.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Because there are going to be times when love ebbs, and even times when compatibility is great. But since you can have compatibilities in so many different areas of your life, that can also change. As you grow, your interests might change, or how you deal with things, or your perspectives might change. They might widen, they might narrow. And so even compatibility is a shifting thing. It's not set in stone. And so I think you need those other two elements of also love as well as effort to make up and to almost like bolster the other elements of a good relationship.
That makes sense. Totally. Um, when I look for somebody who's compatible, I look at where they're better than me. I look at how
That's
they,
interesting.
yeah, I look at how they complement my strengths and nullify my flaws. Like, how do I do this? I don't do this well. Oh, she does this well. I'm no longer doing this. This is over.
I feel you on that.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
let them be good at it and enjoy it.
Oh, never do it again. Who did that? Go over there, call her for it. It's over.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a part of it. I feel like another part of it is that I am I know me so well that I know what I can't handle, what I don't want, and I know where I would struggle with somebody. Like I used to think that I had an issue with. This is going to sound weird. I used to think I had an issue with women that were intelligent and that women that held me accountable. But then I started to realize that the women who I dated that were really intelligent was always somehow in competition with me. And the women that held me accountable did it like out of spite, not to help me grow. It was like, oh, you're wrong now, so now I can beat you down for being wrong. Oh,
Interesting.
you know what I mean? I'm smart too. I do this thing too. And it was like, I didn't like that part of it. So when I dealt with intelligent women who were secure in their femininity, I never had a problem with that. That was always good. That was always secure.
I feel like being held accountable was something I had to grow into as well.
I
And
thought I
realize it's not necessarily a personal attack, but like you said, how someone uses the accountability matters.
right because I never
Is
felt
it a
like,
power play, like, or is it really like,
are you
hey, I care about you and
right?
this is what you're doing wrong? Like,
Exactly. And I feel like I was just in a space where um you could get caught in that weird space where you're growing, so you want to be held accountable because you want to make sure you're doing the right thing and that you're doing right by people. And some people could kind of sense that, but they kind of abuse it and make you feel like everything you're doing is wrong. You know what I mean?
yeah, it does have to be balanced out.
Right
What
now,
what somebody said the other day? They said they like to do a compliment sandwich.
that's how you're
Someone
supposed
said
to.
they, huh?
You're supposed to give bad news in the sandwich and good news.
You want to give good news? So the way they said it, it was like the good news is the bread.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the way you did this,
Right. Bad news,
but this is where you should. You were a little weak at this,
good
but
news.
this was really good too. Like,
They teach you that in like management training and stuff like that. I learned that when I was like,
yeah, I heard it's like HR related.
right. And but it works. Like when you actually do communication, it's like you say, "Hey, I love how you've been doing this, that, and the third, and that." And I usually, instead of giving the criticism, I usually do it as a form of a question. So, how did you feel about that work right there? If you did this so well, how did you feel about this? Oh, you thought it was great. Why? Okay, what if you added this and that to it? Oh, I didn't even think of that. Maybe that's something you should look forward to doing in the future, especially because I need this, and that when I report it to the higher ups. So I need you to maybe add those two things to it. You think that's something you can do? Yeah, all right. So everything else you're doing is great. I like this, I like this, I like that. And then I always reiterate so just make sure you're doing that. And then you get the email from me. As per our conversation.
I think you need to take a more professional stance with me, sir.
Me?
Me?
Not me. Not this one. Not this one. Um, all right, last
I
but not
want a
least,
compliment sandwich.
I also do a bad news sandwich too.
I don't understand this. I don't. Why would you ever do this?
I got you. So you'll say, all right, you know how people say, I got some good news, I got some bad news, right?
Yeah.
So, hey, listen, man, your dog died, right? I'm using that as an example. You say, hey, listen, so that dog did a lot of things for us. We loved it a lot, and it was good. Like he did so many fun things, and blah 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 blah. And like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry to say, he won't be doing those things anymore. He's dead now. But we're gonna get a new dog. We're never gonna replace him. We're gonna honor his memory. We're gonna do whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that the dog rests in peace the proper way. And then we're gonna go get this new dog. Like sometimes you gotta do it like that. You gotta give
Okay,
some food.
it's still a good news sandwich in that you kind of like, hey, this is a silver lining, and this your dog's dead, and
Right.
then this over here, yo, Mocha said, I don't want a new dog.
I want Sparky back. Sparky's coming back,
That's
baby.
so bad.
You know what? I don't like it when parents lie to kids too. Like, oh, they went up to the farm. We're gonna put them on the farm. Nigga, your dog died. You gotta handle that. But I will say this though. I could tell my son is. Oh man, he's not gonna
My
do it.
dog died in front of my daughter, so
Well,
I
I don't. So my son,
we're like,
his mom had a cat, and the cat died. But the cat was around from when like KK was like still in the womb. Like that's how long the cat been around. And my son was like, "Yo, Dad, the cat died." I'm like, "That cat died like 2.5 years ago, bro. Like, why are we still talking about that?" I'm like, "He's not handling it well, bro." He's just like,
he's not the
"Yeah, he's
closure
not.
is not closing.
He's not." Oh, just the door's still open. So I had to give him the bad news sandwich. You know what I mean? We wasn't getting a new cat, but I was like, "Yo, listen, dog. Like, there's other cats out here. You know what I mean? Like, but Bubbles is gone. I don't know what to tell you, homie. So anyway,
No, you're supposed to be like, true. Yes, this is it. But we could do a little memorial service for the little kitty or whatever. It doesn't matter that the cat died 2.5 years ago.
I'm not doing that.
Oh my god.
I'm not doing that.
I hope the mom would.
No, it'll make sense why. I'll tell you one day offline. I'll tell you why I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And I didn't dislike the cat. Like there was a dog that I didn't like, and when that dog died, that's the only what up, Nubian? The only thing that ever died that wasn't a roach or a mosquito that I was like good riddance. It was that little ass dog. That dog died. I was like, ho, the world just became a better place.
Yo, I cannot.
George Bush died. I ain't say that. Nigga, I was like, he was old enough, but I didn't like celebrate his death. That dog
He
died.
said he was old enough.
Yeah, like you know.
Oh my gosh.
Remember what we said the other day? It's always them niggas that live to be 97. Like, why?
It's true. The evil sustains them.
Yo, that's the Tell you I gotta watch Star Wars, man. They talk about that shit in Star Wars, man. They talk about that in Star Wars. They never talk about like what Yoda did and what Obi Wan did that they learned from Qui Gon, like the be the eternal spirit forever. They want to live forever. They want to be on this planet forever. I'm telling you, wait till I do my Star Wars breakdown. Now that we got this app rolling, oh, it's going down. I just need to get some time. I just need some time. I just need some time. Once I get my time back, it's just happening.
You could reclaiming your time. I don't know how we got here to smoke it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how we got here. I don't know. But yo,
I can't.
compatibility, I think is the most important part of a relationship. I think without compatibility, you don't have somebody who complements you. I don't think you have somebody who benefits you in a way that makes you better on a daily basis. I don't think you have anybody that challenges you. I think compatibility. I think can make you adjust certain parts of your values or add things to your value system because there may be things that you never know existed. That somebody who's compatible with you, you're like, oh, I never knew how important this was to me, and now it'll never not be important. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So I feel like, um, to me, I think compatibility is the most important part of a relationship. I think, like you said, Mocha just said, you know, you can have a connection with people. I said earlier, you can have commonality, shared interests. But if you're not compatible, if you're, let me tell you one of the most underrated things about compatibility: sense of humor.
Oh yes, yes.
If I can't send you a fucked up joke, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. If you can't
Nope.
laugh at what I can laugh at, and we don't have to do it all the time, because for the past 2 weeks, I've been falling back from my hell ticket. You know what I mean? I mean, oh, I gotta chill. But if we can't laugh at some fucked up shit, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Yo, and it's so funny because I'll see something and I'll be like, Sherelle will think this is so funny. My ex-husband, he'll think this is so funny, yo. And he'll send me something, and even if I don't think it's funny, the fact that he found it funny is entertaining to me because I'm like, look at him laughing at this silly guy. And that's why I find it, that's where it works. It's not even that always we find the same thing funny, but just that I'm entertained by his entertainment.
No, I get that. I do that with one of my cousins. I
Like
sent
he
her.
used to like the jokes on the Laffy Taffy rappers.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say that. My cousin, she likes a lot of them stupid like knock knock jokes and shit like that.
Yeah,
Anytime
exactly.
or something like that, I always send it to her. I might chuckle a little bit, but you know what I say to myself? She's gonna laugh at this. So anyway, last word. What do you think compatibility is the most important part of a relationship?
I do not think it's the most important part. I do think it's essential, even foundational, but I still think that it has to be bolstered up by communication, effort, and love.
I think your communication, your effort is dependent on your compatibility. I think
Well, the
that
communication was a I misspoke when I said communication because I was saying love and effort. Because I think love is important in that it's the energy that makes you want to serve someone. It's the difference. It's the fact that it's that energy of you want this person to see them at their best, and sometimes that's at the expense of the relationship. I feel like you have to have that servitude, that sacrificial element for a really good relationship where it's like I cannot want you so bad that I can't ever let you go kind of thing. Um
that sounds toxic.
that is that is toxic. That is very toxic. No, I love you forever and you're mine forever. You're always if I can't have you, no one else can. It's very toxic.
Right.
But
Well, go ahead.
I feel like that that outside of yourself energy, that giving energy has to be present in a relationship. And I feel like you only get that with love. You don't only get that with you don't. That's not necessarily a thing with compatibility.
But I feel like my pushback would be that how you love someone and how that love was received is based on your compatibility.
It is, but I'm just talking about like the what loving someone else does for you, in that you have a willingness to give, you have a willingness to serve. Now, how that translates into your relationship, such as love languages and stuff like that, that's compatibility. But if you don't want to do it, it won't ever get done. It doesn't matter if you're compatible if you don't want to do those things for the person.
But then you
It
just don't
won't
like
ever.
it. like,
But you can have relationships that are like, for instance, non-sexual, where you're very compatible. Like you can have work friends who y'all have fun with outside of work, but you hate at work. You ever been? I've had people like that. Like I do not like working with this person, but outside of work, they're great. We like all the same things. We can chill, but I cannot work with them. Like it's not like I would give anything extra of myself to be with them or whatever like that. I can't picture myself being around this person forever. I think these are the differences between just love and compatibility.
okay. Well,
I don't even
ladies
want to pick up an extra Saturday for this person. Like,
and gentlemen, there you have it. Um, love versus love versus compatibility. Maybe that could be a topic.
I think it very much can be.
I think that could be a topic. And next time somebody tries to join on, Like, have a video. We're not doing no dark mode joint. Like, brush your teeth, brush your hair, put your shit in a ponytail, whatever you got to do. Get on
Mocha
here.
got to eat before the live,
You
and
already know. She was in the bed eating too.
Vance got to be up and moving around.
Bad. She was in the bed eating. I already know. All right, y'all. So, love, peace, and hair grease. We'll be back next week talking about some other fun topic. All right? Oh, Mocha got a dark humor. I'm about to send you some crazy shit online.
Yeah, I told you how we do our dark humor. Me and we just like the child is infected by it, so she acts like this at school. We're gonna act like we don't know where she got it from. We give her fair warning. You can't do this at school. You can't repeat this at school.
I'm going to plead the fifth for now.
All
All right,
right, bye guys.
guys, later. In